Are you religious?
Yeah.
Hindu? Are you Hindu?
I'm Jain.
You're what?
Jain.
No, not your name. I'm saying, are you religious?
Jain.
Oh, Jain is a religion. First time I hear that in
Very
my life.
similar to Muslim.
Very similar to Muslim. Tell me more about that. I'm interested. Tell me.
We don't believe in like.
So, do you have a prophet? Do you have a
We
concept
just
of God?
prophet, but we don't have any God.
You have prophets.
Prophet, but don't know God.
Who's your prophet?
Mahavir Swami. Mahavir.
Mahavir. Where is he from? India?
India.
India. Okay. And there's no God. So you have a scripture.
Yeah, just given by the Mahavir.
So there is a scripture he's given you, right? That scripture, it does not talk about God. So what does it talk about there?
How to live the life.
How to live your life. Okay, the question I would ask you then, why do we follow him and what he thinks? He's a human being like you and me.
I don't follow him.
By his teachings, I mean the book.
Teaching. So whatever
Why?
you're finding like good in your common sense, then just follow it. Otherwise, don't.
But you can do that with anything.
Yeah, we can do.
But you call yourself a Jain, which means that you ascribe yourself to that specific faith. So I'm saying, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah?
I get it, but I am from Jain. Currently, I'm not believing in any religion. Just keep studying.
Okay. So you're not really religious, then is what I'm trying to say. It's not like you strict believing in everything in the book, and that's what I mean by religious,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So what about you don't believe in God? Leave the Jain now. You yourself.
I mean, believe in physics and other stuff.
Physics.
So
Okay. Physics should lead you to God.
So far, I just eliminated everything in my mind.
Have you studied physics?
It's my main interest.
It's your main interest. So how do you explain the Big Bang?
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in that, but this is all the renowned physicists today have some model of the Big Bang that they accept.
James Webb telescope research, they are saying there won't be any Big Bang at all.
There what?
There wasn't any Big Bang at all.
Oh, there are many evidence for the Big Bang.
No.
It's not one.
They are disproving it now.
No, but I think, look, today, I think you would agree with me, it's your speciality. Majority of renowned scientists today hold the
There is no
position.
proof right now.
No, I know.
Disability.
But I'm coming to you, no problem. I'm making a point. The majority of renowned scientists today believe in a model of the Big Bang, and some sort of a model of the Big Bang. That's majority of renowned science, right? We agree on that. Now, after that, I'm saying there is multiple different evidence for the Big Bang. Some people use the second law of thermodynamics. Some people use the BMI radiation that is left over for the Big Bang. Some people use the redshifting, right? So just to talk about one type of evidence and to then assume that therefore there is no Big Bang, I think it's quite not, it's disingenuous in a way, right? So I would personally say this, right? There is a Big Bang or there isn't a Big Bang. How did the universe come into existence? Where did the universe come from? Still is a question that needs to be answered. Universe is not a conscious entity that makes and behaves and does actions and does not do actions, which means it requires something conscious with a will to bring it into existence or to organize it in the way that it's organized, right? I would say physics should bring you closer to God and bring you further away should bring you closer, because when you see the complexity of the universe, the speed in which the universe expands, all of this, like the distance between the earth and the sun, the distance between etc. So the more knowledge you would have, there's a book called 6 Numbers. It's very good, very, very, very interesting on this topic, right? So do you want a copy?
In German.
Sorry, in German. Yeah, I'll give you a copy. If you just give me 1 second, right? No problem. My pleasure. So coming back.
Trying to say, I'm not getting you.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is this, is that the universe cannot exist without an external entity with a will and power that brings it into existence. I'm saying this rationally doesn't make sense, because you would agree with me, in physics, you cannot have something that comes into existence from nothing. It's not possible for something to come from nothing.
Yeah,
absolute nothingness, right? Okay, so we say the universe cannot come from absolute nothingness. The universe is not a conscious entity. It's organized in a specific way. It's restricted in a specific way. It means that it requires an explanation external of itself that restricted it or made it the way it is, right? So we are saying the universe is self-evidence of the creator. That's what we say.
Got it.
So that's our position. That's simple, right? So I would say, if I believe, like for example, you wouldn't doubt that someone made this phone or this table just by seeing the table. You don't have to see the maker, right? So we're saying similarly, the universe is self-evident for the existence.
I believe in.
Yes, in a higher power or something like that. Okay.
God, but not exactly like everyone is believing.
Yeah, we don't believe God is a man. I'll tell you about an Islamic concept of God. We believe in one creator. We see that one creator is not like humans. It's not a man, it's not a woman, it's not a picture, it's not. We cannot understand God with our limited mind. That's what we believe as Muslims, right?
For example, there is one book also, I think maybe in German only, God is dead.
God is, I know. The Nietzsche, are you talking about Nietzsche's
I don't remember the name. So it's something like, for example, the robot will be rule over the world in future. And
But
human
how-
disappear, for example. So for robotic.
But that's all
human-
assumptions.
No, I'm just.
Two assumptions there. But I can tell you two assumptions. The first assumption.
For us,
Yes.
for the robotic, their God will be human, and human is not like one man. Every human
We don't
is-
believe God is a man. We don't believe God is a man.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we agree with you. I'm saying the concept that you believe, you will find Islam is close to it, because
If you find out, just Google it, Jainism, and you find.
Jainism. Yeah. Okay.
So there are so many in Canada. Muslim and Jainism, a big organization like a union.
Okay.
Most of us we have only empty room.
Okay.
We just pray.
Okay.
There are obviously there will be different.
But I'll tell you something. Look, we said we agree on the idea of God so far, but then comes the idea of religion, right? The reason I follow the Quran, like this is why I asked you the question about your scripture, because the reason I follow the Quran is I can prove or I can establish with evidence that Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of God. Based on establishing with evidence that Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of God, I follow the Quran. That's why I said to you, why would I follow the man that you described, right?
Okay.
So that is why if the Quran teaches me that this is the last and final messenger, this is the perfect religion, I have to follow it because I can establish with evidence that this book is from the Creator, right? So give it a read, you know? Pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time.
Just find out on the
If you have any questions, please come back. I'll have a look. Definitely, after today, I'll have a look. I'm usually interested in new things. That's a good thing, right? Jainism, that's very interesting. I'll have a look.
It's a very similar history along with Muhammad.
Okay.
At the same time.
So it came after the Prophet Muhammad?
No, it's almost on the same time.
Same time in India.
In the
Same
world.
time, but in India. Started in India. Okay, no problem.
No, this is like.
I'll have a look. I'll
The
research
last
it.
prophet I'm talking about, Muhammad.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look. Pleasure talking to you. Nice. If you have any questions, come back. Yeah, nice talking to you.